we are still in homework for problem 11. So we will just continue from where we stopped last time in problem 10. So right now we're going to have one producer and then multiple consumers. So first we're going to demonstrate two consumers that are getting data from one producer or one topic. So the source code, the most significant configuration here is the group ID. So right here is the P10 consumers. So it will still get, so all these applications that will be running have a group ID of P10 consumers. So let's see what's going to happen, or what will be the behavior of these consumers and the producers. So first we're going to run the consumers. So this will just have this, the same instance with the same group ID. So these two applications will wait for our for the producers to send the message. Okay. So now we're going to get the producer running. So let's see. So we have 40 data. So in our source code we already did 40 data or events that will be generated for this test. So let's run this producer code. So there it is. Let's stop this, and then let's check on each of these consumer. So we see that there is a distribution in our partition right here. So in the first instance of the consumer, we have the partition 1, partition 0, and partition 1 are being sent to that, are being consumed by this instance from problem 10 topic. And then in the second instance of this consumer, we have the partition 2 that is being distributed or being consumed by this instance of the consumer. So now let's test on let's add another 2 more instances for this test. Okay, let's clear up this producer console. So these will all be our instance. Okay, let's run 4 instances of this. Okay, let's clear this up and then get our consumers to run first. So we have this consumer group running here. With the same group ID. Okay. Now let's start all this. So all 4 consumers are running and are so let's run our producer. Okay, this is the command for our producer. Please note or remember that we will be sending out for the events. Okay. So we will expect that so we send out the data. Let's inspect each of these. So the first instance we have here, this did not receive any data, or this could be the last one that we run earlier. So the one instance did not receive any data from the topic. Okay. So the next instance received partition all the partition 0 right here. So we can close this now. And then let's see, the third partition received data that are all just from partition 2. And then another instance just received all just from partition 1. Okay, so this means that the distribution was equal on the 3 consumers, and we did not receive any data, or we did not consume any data in one of our partitions, since we run for a consumer, since we run for consumer instance. Okay, so that concludes our third experiment, or second experiment. So now let's stop 2 instances of the problem, demonstrate the partition rebalancing again. So there's a rebalance in the partition that happened earlier. Now let's turn off the 2 partitions, 2 consumers. I mean. So now we only have 2 consumers instance that we will be running. Let's clear this again. Let's run our consumers right here. And then this one. So let's run this. Again, let's run our producer right here. Okay, so these 2 are just waiting for any messages coming in from the producer. When we run the producer, we see again that they receive data. So again, the distribution is 0, 1. So it was rebalanced. The 2 partitions are now in one instance, are being sent to one instance of this consumer, and partition 2 is being sent out to the other instance of the consumers. So that's it for